Let me start with something important. Investing is no longer optional. Not in 2026, and definitely not if you want financial freedom later in life. Wages don't keep up with inflation. Cash loses value every single year, and relying on the state pension alone is a dangerous plan. Today, I'm talking about why investing matters and giving you a simple plan to build financial freedom. But first, I'll tell you how I practice what I preach. Finding spare money to invest. I'm always preaching about how important investing is. I'm always preaching about how important it is to DCA into assets and to think long term. How you should be doing everything you can to get spare money to invest, like doing overtime or maybe getting a second job. This applies to crypto, individual stocks, index investing, gold, whatever asset or assets you choose to invest into. Not easy, I know, but I do practice what I preach. At the start of 2022, I didn't have any spare money. So I worked 67 days every week so I could invest into crypto each month. This has meant I've been able to DCA into assets like crypto, stocks, index investing every single month since June 2022. Here's another little example. My spare money was getting a bit tight towards the end of 2025 due to a higher than expected tax bill and refurb work on some of my rental properties. So I worked in between Christmas and New Year. It was brutal, but it was worth it, mainly because the overtime money I got will mean I can DCA into crypto and stocks over the next 6 months. Let me know below in the comments, what are you doing to find spare money to invest? The harsh truth about money in the UK. Here's the uncomfortable reality most people don't want to talk about or acknowledge. If you don't invest, you stay dependent on work. You stay exposed to inflation. You stay one crisis away from stress. I know what it's like to live month to month, to always be stressed about money. I know what it's like to see people I care about struggling in retirement. That's why I'm so passionate about helping people with my investing experience on this channel. Most people are earners, very few people become owners. And ownership is where freedom lives. The UK is a brilliant place to invest if you play the game properly. ISAs, pensions, property, markets that reward patience. But none of that matters if you don't build the habit of investing consistently. Most people ignore this type of message on social media. From my experience, they would rather listen to some crypto bro or 18-year-old on TikTok promising them they'll get rich in 3 months. But if you have the patience and discipline for long-term investing, hit subscribe and I'll do my very best on this channel to help you build wealth. Why DCA beats being smart? I'm a huge believer in dollar cost averaging or pound cost averaging here in the UK. Not because it's exciting, not because it's clever, but because it works. DCA removes emotion, time and stress, and overwhelm. With the DCA strategy, you invest every single month. Good markets, bad markets, boring markets, it doesn't matter. And if you see below, there's a video specifically for investing in any market conditions. With DCA, you let time and compounding do the heavy lifting. And here's the key part most people miss. The magic isn't the asset, the magic is showing up every single month. A few key points I try to drive home to members of my school community. Only invest in assets you understand. Only invest in things you genuinely believe in, because belief keeps you consistent when things get uncomfortable. If you want to get around hundreds of like-minded investors, if you want one-to-one help and support, you can join my investing community on Skool. The link can be found below. The simple plan to financial freedom. Let me break this down into something any UK investor can follow. This is a 5-step plan that I feel can help you push towards financial freedom. Step 1, increase your investable income. Not your lifestyle, not your spending, your investable surplus. That might mean overtime, second job as I touched on before, freelance work, short-term sacrifice. This isn't forever. It's a season in your life. Put the work in now and your future self will thank you big time. Step 2, choose your asset. Like index funds, for example, I've invested in the Vanguard Life Strategy 100 fund for me, my wife and our 2 daughters every single month since 2019. And over the last 5 years, the returns have been just over 11% on average. Much better than leaving your money in cash or a savings account. Step 3, diversify. If you choose index investing, you can go with global diversification to spread out your risk, like I have with the Life Strategy 100 fund. This gives me exposure to over 7,000 companies worldwide. But I take it even further because I invest in index funds, individual companies, crypto and property. What about you? What are your thoughts on diversification? Step 3, automate your investing. Once you've got spare money to use ISAs, pensions, maybe DCA into crypto with assets like Solana or Ethereum, monthly direct debits. Automation beats motivation every time. All you've got to do is DCA each month and forget about it. Well, almost. Step 4, think in decades, not months. Basically, I'm all over long-term investing like a rash. If you can DCA into something simple like a low-cost index fund, I'm confident you retire early. For example, if you're 30 and you want to retire at 60, you decide to invest £500 a month into a low-cost index fund. If you can do this for 30 years and get average returns of about 10%, you're talking just over £1 million. Step 5, financial education. Most people switch off whenever I mention them two words, but I talk about it all the time because it's important. I genuinely believe that if you focus on financial education, it leads to financial literacy, and financial literacy leads to financial freedom. Before financial education, I struggled in my first 18 years as an investor, but since taking it seriously back in 2018 and 2019, things have improved big time, like building 6-figure portfolios in 3 separate asset classes. This is where most people fail. They want fast results, instant validation, overnight wins. Like me when I started investing in individual companies in 2010 and 2011 and crypto in 2017. Wealth doesn't work like that. It's built slowly, quietly, relentlessly. As you can probably guess, I'm not a financial advisor, and this isn't me giving out financial advice. The bigger picture, why this matters. This isn't about Lambos. It isn't about flexing. This isn't about getting rich quick. It's about sleeping well at night. Not panicking over bills, supporting family when needed, having choices later in life. Money doesn't fix everything, but lack of money makes everything harder, in my humble opinion. Investing is how you reduce future stress. Summary. So yes, I talk about investing all the time. I talk about DCA, I talk about sacrifice, I talk about long-term thinking because I live it and I know how important it is. I've worked when I didn't want to. I've sacrificed comfort for consistency. I've chosen investing over ease, and I'll keep doing it. If you're not quite sure what to invest into at the start, I would probably go with low-cost index funds. This is what I would tell my 18-year-old self if I could go back. But what if you have no idea what index funds are or how to buy, etc.? Well, if you see below, you'll find the link for my latest playlist, which gives you all the info you need to invest with index funds in the stock market step by step. All I would say is to take some notes so you actually learn the info. You're not humping and dumping like me at school and university.